In the last couple of years since I really cause I never really was, I'm a dude from the hood, come from an all Democratic family. I never really got off into politics, I was happy when Barack Obama won because he was the first black president. Of course, I didn't really know a lot of stuff that he was, I didn't really know a lot. He just, I'm a dude from the street. Jesus said my president is black, my Lambo blue. So, I didn't really know a lot of it. But the last couple of years, last few years, should I say, I started getting into politics, and I know it was God that made me start, being curious and start just getting off into it because there's no other reason for that. You know what I'm saying? And I learned a lot, and what really made me scratch my head a lot was once I started finding out the Democratic views and the Republican views and the stuff like that. Now, my first question was to a lot of black people was, well, not a lot of black people, but a lot of Christians. And by me being black, excuse me, by me being black, I come up around black Christians, right? So I used to go to a black Christian church. And as I begin to dig off into certain things, like I noticed, when President Trump came in, he got straight on the ground working. That's really the first thing that set me off. President Trump came. I even went against President Trump in the election. I supported Hillary because we had that coming up in the black community, you brainwashed to believe that the Democrats for you. Bill Clinton was the first black president. You brainwashed to believe these things. And like I say, when you from the hood, you don't really care about all that. But once God began to tap me on my shoulder, and before it was even about, just Christian views, just common sense views. And I started to begin to do my research, and, I realized how the Democratic Party founded the Jim Crow laws. If you don't know what the Jim Crow laws, that was the time when it was whites only this, whites only that, before integration, and Democrats also was founded the KKK, and all this stuff. I'm starting to wonder. I'm like, so why would black people be supporting this party? Then I did further research, and I know in 1964 they passed the Civil Rights Bill, which basically abolished the Jim Crow laws, and integration became, whites and blacks do this and do that together. And, I still was scratching my head by a lot of things. So, we had President Obama in there for 8 years. Not only did he not do anything for the black community, he didn't even try. We could, people, like I say once again, when you green and you're in a fallen state, you don't understand. You think that, oh, well, he was black, so Congress wasn't on his side. First of all, the Senate and the House was Democrat, and they was more than on his side. So President Trump coming in office in 2016, 17, whatever the first year he came in, and he hit the ground running, signing the First Step Act, which freed over 7,000 prisoners, 91% black. He invested $100 million. He invested He invested $100 billion in the companies to invest in the opportunities on which is the hood. In other words, for them to put businesses in lower income areas to create jobs. Unemployment for blacks was the lowest ever during President Trump tenure. What else did he do? He gave $45 billion he gave long-term funding to HBCU, historical black colleges and universities, and also put them their own office in the White House so they can be first priority in future administrations. And he was doing all these things, and then not only that, when he was coming for re-election, and there's other things that I would have to look, because it's all wrote down and jotted down, and I would have to tell you, so much stuff he did just strictly for the black community. And that's because Trump understood that in order for me to make America great again, which was his motto, everybody got to be included in that. Not just the whites, not just the eight, not everybody got to be included in that. And even though black people seem to, you know, not look out for each other, because black people are black. We got the most black billionaires that we ever had. We got the most educated, successful black women that we ever had. So it's not an issue with capital no more. We got that. We just for self. So Donald Trump helped a lot of black people out, and I seen how people was going against him, and so I began to question things. Like I said, I know it was God, because why would any? And the reason why you know it's God when it's certain thing that when it's something that you see, and it's like you like, damn, it's big as everybody see, but other people don't see it or they don't want to see it, because that's another thing. A lot of times people don't want to see it. That's why they say ignorance is bliss. And as a black man, as a black conservative, Trump supporter, when you speak, some people will listen, but some black people, they wouldn't even want to listen. You speak Trump and they just get into another person. They turn into another person. And that's because ignorance is bliss. In other words, they don't want to know, because if they know some things, it might make them change their opinion. It's comfortable to be with the crowd, and if you black and or you white and that crowd was blacks against Trump. Now they did have a lot of black Trump supporters. They had the black voice for Trump. People like Candace Owens, Angela Stanton, and all them. They was black voice, black conservatives and voices for Trump and voice for what's right. Trump came in and he was, he's a conservative man. He don't believe in that transgender stuff. He believe in man and woman. He was trying to get Bible study in school. He was trying to get prayer back in school. Look these things up that I'm saying. This man was trying to do a lot of stuff. And as a Christian, they like to say, well, Trump been divorced this many times, or Trump been divorced this many times, or Trump evil, Trump racist. All this been proven wrong. It's all lies. Nobody ever said this man racist before he became president. That's only because the news made people say that. Because this man came in and he wasn't a politician. He was a leader. There's a difference. All these dudes that presidents are politicians. Trump was not a politician. He was a real leader who wanted to see his country great again. That he didn't have to do that. This man is a billionaire. He got multiple successful companies. He rich for life. He did not have to do this, but he tired of seeing these people come and sell his country out. And he friends with these leaders in these other countries. He know what's going on. These people sell America out. That's why people never think about it. Like these people like Barack Obama and Biden and Clinton. These people work multi-million dollars, 10, 50, 60 million dollars. How do they have all this money when they do a job that don't make over $200,000 a year? President don't make over $200,000 a year. No politician make over $200,000 a year. Some of them, like they got like Hillary Clinton and Barack Obama, they got books, but books is not generating you tens of millions of dollars. Where all this money coming from? This money is coming from people who giving them money to say this, say that, like this dude Biden. Biden is a complete, that's why he can't answer questions. That's why when press conferences come, he can't answer questions, because he don't know what to say, and those people don't want him to say anything, because he might say the wrong thing. You haven't even seen Kamala Harris. And the black, but going back to the black community, and especially the black church, this is the next thing when it came just to Christian values. And this really bothered me. I'm gonna be honest with you, it bothered me, and it bothered me to this day. You got some of these prophets, apostles, men of God, men and women of God, but they support Joe Biden and Kamala. I mean, it don't sit right with my spirit. I know it's not supposed to be. I know it's wrong. It's no way as a man or woman of God you supposed to be supporting them or the Democratic Party for that matter. When Biden came in office, his first three things was, I'm gonna deal with LGBTQ. I'm gonna make sure they protected. Basically, I'm gonna take care of the COVID situation, and I'm gonna take care of the what else he said? His first 90 days, I forgot. It was COVID, LGBTQ, and something else, but an abortion. These people are all about evil. Antichrist spirit is up on the Democratic Party. But the black church, and some of these white churches too, but majority of the black church. And when Obama was in there, a whole bunch of them black churches swept all that under the rug. Listen, we understand that he passed in gay marriage. We understand he pro-abortion, and he put all that money into the abortion project that Trump took back, that of course Biden did again. Also, Biden cut that HBCU money. He cut the HBCU money from $45 billion to $2 billion, but they don't talk about that on the news. But anyway, back to what I was saying. All these men and women of God who supporting Barack Obama, love him. Supporting Biden and Kamala, love him. Y'all need to repent, because you know what, bro? Ain't no, and the next thing they like to say, oh well, Christians and politics don't mix. And see, when people start talking like that, I already know they don't read the Bible. Because if you go in the Bible, all the situations that was taking place, especially in the Old Testament, was God people dealing with kings about what they was doing that was wrong. Why you think Daniel got put in the lions den? Why you think Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego got thrown in the fire? Because it's legislated. Because law that the king, of course, they didn't have presidents at that time. They had kings. And men of God was speaking to his people, speaking to his, Daniels, his David, and all them, to go tell these people, listen, what you doing is wrong. It need to stop. That's why they was hated. Today, they love. Every prophet is love. Every man of God is love, because they not speaking what they not giving you the 66 books. I'm just be honest with you. And a lot of blood on their hand, and it's not just on their hand, because guess what? People supposed to be studying their word for themselves. People is supposed to be studying the Bible for themselves. They not supposed to be going just to the church. But we understand most people have secondhand Christianity. Whatever pastor say. The pastors been the last couple of years, they telling their members, I heard one pastor say that it's okay to get an abortion if you got raped. That's what he said. They pushing their members, go get the vaccine. You go to a church, you go to one of these big churches, or whatever kind of church, big or small, and everybody in there got a mask. This is supposed to be the house of God. This is supposed to be God's people. But you go to a club, you go to a bar, a sports event, a concert. Now, this all people in the world, and ain't none of them got no mask on, or maybe a few of them. And guess who? They gonna be the black people, but majority of them ain't got no mask on. So you mean to tell me we got more fear in the house of God than we got at a football game, a bar? It just don't make sense. But like I say, going back to speaking about how the black church was all the way behind these evil people. These people are evil. The people who are Democrats, most of the time, I'm not going to say everybody because I didn't do research on it, but from Bill Clinton to Barack Obama to a Biden administration, all these people are evil. They all about same-sex marriage, which is an abomination to God. They all about killing babies. They all about just do whatever you want. Alice the Christ, do as thy will. And if Jesus was here on this earth right now, you think he flipped tables in that temple because they were selling stuff? I mean, if Jesus was here today, walking this earth, seeing what was going on, man, it would be a sad situation, man. And you know what? Like I said in my video I released yesterday, he wouldn't be as upset with the world as he would be upset with the people who claiming his name but still go and vote for Obama. After they know, maybe, like I said, I give a lot of people a pass after the first time, but after that second term, you knew what Obama was about. But you know what you did? You said to yourself, he black. You put your culture over the kingdom. I remember the great G. Patterson said it, rest in peace on his soul, great pastor, my favorite pastor. He said, listen, ain't nobody in here got no business going to vote for no Obama. They was mad at Tony Evans. They was mad at him, his members, because most of them black, and they was mad at him because he was supporting Trump. If you was a man of God, woman of God, especially these people who talking about they prophets and apostles. Man, y'all ought to be ashamed of y'allself. You a prophet? You God mouthpiece? You an apostle? And you supporting a Democratic party? The Antichrist party, the party who support killing babies, the party who support LGBTQ, but you a prophet? You an apostle? Man, you need to go, man, listen. And that's why, you know what? But you know what, like I say, man, and like I said, they were mad at Tony Evans. Like I say, I told some people that a lot of my family don't stop dealing with me behind my views. You know what I'm saying? People in the church I know stop dealing with me because I stood for truth. I'm not supported by it. Y'all let the news make y'all hate Donald Trump. All the great stuff he did for the black community, all the stuff he did for America, you know, just everything he did. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, oh man, mean tweets when it wasn't mean. You know, we live in America today that's so soft. You can't tell people the truth, bro. You can't tell people the truth. And that's why I'm going to start a series called a Pray for a Black America series. Because see, black people, they can't deal with the truth. Oh, man. You tell black people the truth, you in trouble. And I'm going to speak about that in another video. But like I say, man, you know, it's sad, bro. And I want just to come across somebody. I hope this find the right people. See, if you're a Democrat and you talking about you a woman of God or you man of God, go bring that to God. Go bring what I'm saying to God. Say, God, do you got a problem with me being a Democrat and I'm a Christian? He was a black president, but he went against my law. Who your president is, God or Obama? God or Biden? And we could clearly see that just, you know, Biden being off, this man is ruining everything. But he comfortable. He not rattling nothing. He not rattling nothing. You comfortable with him. But that's another story. But there's a black person. And then Biden got on TV and said, if you don't vote for me, you ain't black. Boy, if Trump would have said that. And you know what? If Trump would have said it, he had the right to say it. Because ain't nobody ever did nothing for black people like Trump did. So if Trump would have said it, he'd have had the right to say it. And he didn't say it, but if he would have, but Biden said, and y'all, it's all good. I just couldn't believe it, man. You know, I was telling these people in the church, man, they would get mad at me, and I just couldn't believe it. I was like, I even had to go back to God about it. I said, God, am I tripping? And maybe I'm tripping. Maybe I'm tripping that people of God not supposed to be supporting a Democratic Party was pushing the Antichrist agenda, going against all God laws. Maybe, and I wouldn't. He said, I'm not wrong. They wrong. But man, like I say, man, you a Democrat, you ain't got no business being Christian. I mean, if you're a Christian, I'm sorry, I said that wrong. But which is either way, interchangeable. You're a Democrat, you ain't a Christian. If you're a Christian, you ain't got no business being no Democrat. You know what I'm saying? And I'm going to keep speaking on this. Yeah, I'm going to keep speaking on this type of subject. Because, I mean, it just don't make sense. It's sad. You know what I'm saying? But much love.